What do you think of the physical health of the country as a physician?
Well, we have about half or more of our population who are overweight
Yep.
and have some other significant issues, a large increase in type 2 diabetes. And people who generally are not engaged in a lot of physical activity have a lot of musculoskeletal issues. So in general, it leaves a lot to be desired.
That's changed pretty quickly. I mean, America did not look like this in the 80s, which wasn't that long ago.
Well, we used to have a lot more physical labor.
Yeah.
And that helped. And, particularly among the men, they had jobs that required a lot of muscle, a lot of work, and you don't have that anymore. And so I think that's affecting people's physical abilities.
Are you worried about chemicals in the air, water, and food?
Well, interestingly enough, I know the green people talk a lot about our fossil fuels and how they're poisoning our atmosphere. But if you're objective, you know that we have the cleanest air and the cleanest water we've ever had since we've done measurements. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't pay attention to these things, but we shouldn't allow them to be used to manipulate people.
Yeah.
And to control people. That's a real problem. And as time goes on, we learn better and better ways to take care of the environment. I think we've learned to a large extent that we shouldn't be throwing away things that are not biodegradable into our oceans and poisoning our fish. And I think there is a place for regulations that keep us from destroying our environment. But going to the extreme and using those to control people's behavior, I think is probably not where we want to be.
Does anyone know why testosterone levels have dropped so much?
That's been a big question. Some people think it's because we just men don't engage in a lot of physical activity. Some studies have shown that, for instance, the grip strength of men has decreased substantially over the last couple of decades.
But I mean, the drop has been so dramatic that there's got to be, abrupt, that it feels like there's got to be some specific cause that we haven't identified that's important to know about.
I think it's just that we used to be much more physical. And, if you go to countries where, the men and the women still engage in heavy physical labor, carrying around heavy buckets and things like that. I mean, you can go there and you can see like a 70-year-old woman. She can be a lot stronger than you are.
Yeah.
So that's just something that, we have to have enough discipline to not just go and look at the gym, but to use it.